Hi everybody. I'd like to introduce to you this new instrument I just finished building. It is, well, it's a left-handed, it's why I'm kind of holding it upside down because I'm going to, hopefully this won't be too comical, but I'm going to attempt to play this left-handed Sarod, right-handed because I'm a right-handed player, of course. But the instrument is the modern, I call it the modern alternative Sarod number 3. The first one was for Arnab Chakravarti. It was, Arnab and I have been collaborating and designing alternative models of Sarods for almost 10 years now, actually. The first few versions were woodtop Sarod, so Sarod with a wood top. And then we shifted to, in fact, I'm sort of following Arnab's vision, you can say. So he was, about 10 years ago, he was very excited about having Sarods with a wood top. And so, because I had already made some, not actually Sarods, but rag makam tars, which are a combination of a Sarod and an oud in one instrument. Well, I mean, not a combination, but somehow two necks which are configured like a Sarod and like an oud. It wasn't intending to sound like a Sarod exactly, but just somehow to have in one instrument the possibility to play something similar to a Sarod and an oud. So that was a rag makam tar, and Arnab was intrigued by this, and that inspired him to to ask me to build an actual woodtop Sarod. So I did that, and that was very, very popular for a few years actually. The interest in it has somehow died down, and these days everybody's asking me more or less to make skin top Sarods. Okay, so I made a few of the wood top Sarods, just with the skin top, and Arnab noticed that and said, "Well, that's good, but when you make it with a skin top, everything kind of changes. You can't just make it, because with a wood top, the body, this body here is made with, like, the body, I mean, how this is different than a traditional Sarod is that the body is made like a lute making techniques, as opposed to just carving the whole thing out of a chunk of wood, which is how you make a traditional Sarod. So with the woodtop Sarods, I just simply made the body, with single ribs, just like you would an oud or a lute, and then put the wood top on. Okay? Now, Arnab was saying that, hey, we should probably make somehow the body heavier because, to get a little closer to the traditional sound of a Sarod. So I came up with the idea to make the body with double thickness. So 2 ribs laminated together. So it's a double thickness, double ribs. And that gives a much heavier, much sturdier base to have the skin applied to. And it definitely does bring the tone of the instrument closer to that of a traditional Sarod. Because the first 7 or so, I call them lute Sarods, with the single rib back and the skin. I call them lute Sarods. Don't ask me why. It's these names kind of evolve somehow. And very nice, very, very nice instruments. Yeah, I mean, sounding very, very nice. But Arnab encouraged me to make the ribs double and make them heavier, and it's working nicely. It gives a little more sustain, a little more solidity to the sound. And the other big difference in this modern alternative Sarod, as I'm calling them, is the fingerboard. Okay. Previously, starting with the woodtop Sarod and then the lute Sarods, which were basically a wood top Sarod with a skin top. Anyways, I was making the fingerboards with a plate of wood underneath and then a very thin sheet metal on top of that. Okay, so what we started to realize is that one of the most one of the elements of a traditional Sarod, which gives it that real sound, that characteristic sound of a traditional Sarod, is that the plate is, there's nothing underneath it. The plate itself is resonating, okay? And so therefore I had to get some thicker metal. So I'm using 1 millimeter thick as opposed to half a millimeter thick metal that I was using when I had the wood underneath it for support. So this is 1 millimeter thick, very little sanding, very, very little, just a little bit to smooth it out. And it's hollow, completely hollow. There's nothing under there except right on the edges to support it. So the plate itself resonates, okay? Now that really is, as I said, one of the distinguishing features, elements of the Sarod, which gives it the Sarod sound, okay? So these models are slowly getting closer and closer to what a traditional Sarod is, actually, except the primary difference, and what kind of has motivated me a lot is to use this system of making the back with bent strips of hardwood, as opposed to this kind of very wasteful way of like taking a whole chunk of a whole log of wood and carving it out. It seems a kind of a primitive way and very wasteful way. So the goal with these modern alternative Sarods is to basically to get as close as possible to the sound of a traditional Sarod, because in my opinion, you can't really improve on the tone of a very good traditional Sarod. I mean, the sound of a great traditional Sarod in the hands of a great player is something that, why would anybody even want or even conceive of trying to improve upon that? I mean, it's just amazing. It's one of the most beautiful sounds I've ever heard. So I'm not trying to improve on that sound, okay? But it makes me cry when I see how much wood is wasted. Yeah, so my goal is to come up with a way of making a Sarod that will sound as good as a traditional Sarod. Not better, because that's really not possible, actually, in my opinion. But with a lot less wood, you know. And I think it's really beautiful the way these. Another thing is I've added a sound hole here. This particular Sarod, it has a fifth string, the low bass fifth string. So the sound hole is good to kind of bring out the bass of that string. So now this is going to be the comical part of this video. I'm going to sort of try to play this a little bit left-handed, just to try to at least give you a bit of an idea of the sound of it. So I hope you like it. going to stop now because this is getting ridiculous. But I hope that this video gave you a bit of a taste of how this instrument sounds. I kind of wish it was right-handed so I could kind of play it properly, but I'm happy to make left-handed instruments. I myself am left-handed. I write with my left hand. I do some things with my left hand and some things with my right hand, but playing Sarod is definitely not a left-handed thing for me. So I hope you enjoy this instrument. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.